Iran just filled its most powerful security vacancy, and the choice tells you everything. Not a diplomat, not a technocrat, but a brigadier general, a Basij chief. A man who has spent his entire career inside the Revolutionary Guard. Tehran is at war, Washington is circling Karg Island. And Iran? Iran just put a soldier in charge of every decision that follows. Iran has moved swiftly to fill one of the most consequential security vacancies the war has created. As the conflict enters its fifth week, Tehran has appointed a veteran Revolutionary Guard commander to lead its Supreme National Security Council, the body that sits at the very heart of the Islamic Republic's war-making and diplomatic decision-making. Mohammad Bagher Zolghadr has been officially named as the new secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council, confirmed by the Iranian president's deputy for communications in a post on X. The appointment was made by direct presidential decree and with the endorsement of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Mojtaba Khamenei. He replaces Ali Larijani, who was assassinated in an Israeli-American strike last week. Larijani had held the position since August 2025. So, who is this Mohammad Bagher Zolghadr? The short answer is, one of the most deeply embedded figures in Iran's security establishment. Zolghadr previously served as Deputy Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces for Basij Affairs and held senior positions in the judiciary for nearly a decade. His academic credentials are just as telling. Before the 1979 Islamic Revolution, Zolghadr earned a degree in economics from Tehran University, followed by a master's in public administration from the same institution, and later completed a doctorate in strategic management at the National Defense University. His operational pedigree runs deep. Following the Holy Defense War in the late 1980s, Zolghadr served for 8 years as head of the IRGC Joint Staff during the presidency of Akbar Hashemi Rafsanjani, then spent another 8 years as Deputy Commander-in-Chief of the IRGC. Zolghadr had most recently been serving as Secretary of Iran's Expediency Council before this appointment and holds the rank of Brigadier General in the Revolutionary Guard. This is not a bureaucratic appointment, it is a wartime one. The Supreme National Security Council coordinates Iran's response to existential threats, overseas intelligence, military strategy, and any diplomatic outreach. Placing a decorated IRGC veteran in that chair sends a clear signal. Tehran is not softening its institutional posture, even as diplomatic signals flicker in the background. The appointment comes at a moment of intense strategic ambiguity. Iran's leaders are wary of Washington's motives, in part because Tehran was in negotiations with the United States before the surprise attack that started the current war. Zolghadr steps into his role as thousands of US Marines continue moving towards the region. Washington debates a potential ground operation on Karg Island, and the Strait of Hormuz remains an open flashpoint. The man now steering Iran's Security Council is not a diplomat, he is a soldier. And that, in itself, may be Tehran's most deliberate message yet. Washington is quietly eyeing one of Iran's most powerful and hardline figures as a potential partner to reshape the Middle East. Two Trump administration officials told Politico that Iran's parliament speaker, Mohammad Bagher Zolghadr, has emerged as what they're calling a hot option in internal White House discussions about Iran's political future. The officials said the White House is not currently backing any specific figure and is evaluating several candidates, stress testing them, in their own words, to find someone willing and able to make a deal. One official was candid about where Kalibaf stands in that calculus.
Kalibaf is a hot option. He's one of the highest, but we got to test them, and we can't rush into it.
The stakes behind that search are considerable. The administration's push to identify a negotiating partner reflects a desire to find a way out of a conflict that has rattled world markets, spiked oil prices, and renewed fears of inflation, all while raising a harder question. Now that the US and Israel have decimated Tehran's leadership, who and what comes next? That question has brought Kalibaf into sharp focus. According to Israeli officials cited by Hebrew-language media, Trump's top envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner have already held direct negotiations with the parliament speaker. Earlier the same day, Trump himself hinted at the outreach, telling reporters the US was in talks with a very solid figure inside Iran without naming him. The administration's thinking follows a model already tested in another adversarial state. The White House believes Venezuela could serve as a blueprint where Washington effectively kept Nicolás Maduro's successor, Delcy Rodriguez, in place in exchange for a favorable deal, particularly on oil. One official was direct about the logic.
It's all about installing someone like Delcy Rodriguez, where we say, we'll keep you there, we won't take you down. You work with us, give us a good deal first and foremost on oil.
But Kalibaf is no moderate, and the Venezuelan comparison has its limits. A 64-year-old career soldier, Kalibaf is a senior figure in the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps who previously commanded its air force and was involved in missile development. He was also a close friend of slain IRGC Quds Force commander Qasem Soleimani and has been linked to the violent suppression of domestic protests. As one source acknowledged, Kalibaf himself has flatly denied any back-channel with Washington, and in terms that leave little room for ambiguity. In a series of posts on X, he wrote,
Iranian people demand complete and remorseful punishment of the aggressors. All Iranian officials stand firmly behind their supreme leader and people until this goal is achieved. No negotiations have been held with the US, and fake news is used to manipulate the financial and oil markets and escape the quagmire in which the US and Israel are trapped.
The Speaker of the Iranian Parliament went further, issuing a stark warning to foreign investors.
In addition to military bases, those financial institutions that fund the US military budget are considered legitimate targets. US Treasury bonds are tainted with the blood of Iranians. If you proceed to purchase them, you are in fact attacking your own assets and primary headquarters. We are monitoring your investment portfolios.
Meanwhile, the White House has ruled out exiled Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi as an alternative. Trump's advisors say Pahlavi lacks legitimacy inside Iran, with one official saying,
He grew up abroad. That's the last thing you want to put in there. It's chaos.
Another source confirmed Pahlavi is not on the table, confirming that, for now, the administration's posture is one of cautious, calculated observation.
We're in the testing phase of really trying to figure out who can rise, who wants to rise, and who tries to rise. And then as people rise, we'll do a quick test, and if they're radical, we'll take them out.
The gap between Washington's back-channel calculus and Kalibaf's fiery public posture could hardly be wider. Whether that gap is theatre, a negotiating tactic, or a genuine impasse may well define the next chapter of the US-Iran standoff.